All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, this is Pastor Dow. I am getting a lot of people who at one time professed to be Christians who are now starting to step back, actually become proactive, read their Bibles, and starting to evaluate a lot of things that they used to believe in. And one of those things just so happened to be food. Food is paramount. It's necessary for life. But there are a few things that people need to understand. Now, listen to me very closely. You're dealing with certain situations where you have survival situations. You know, rabbits is the ultimate survival food. Pig is prolific. You know, the reason why that the system promotes people eating swine and pig is because these things have a lot of babies and they'll eat just about anything. Only one problem. Now, you have to listen to me real close. You really, truly have to listen to me very, very closely. Because if you do not listen to me and exercise the art of hearing, you're going to get offended with me during this teaching right here. I'm going to do a very short teaching on clean foods and unclean foods. This is very short, mostly centering on the swine because that's what's been presented. Now listen to me. This Bible right here is a history of one family from the loins of Jacob who had 12 sons, and they were all Israelites. This family grew into a nation over a period of time. This family had a lawgiver. His name was Moses. And Moses spoke directly to the Father. Are you listening to me? And this lawgiver gave Moses some rules and some regulations for that family. Now, with that said, if you want to be a Christian, realize that your religion, and I'm going to use that word, is not spoken about in this book. I know that's a hard pill for many people to swallow, but it's the truth. If you want to be a Muslim, your religion is not spoken about in this book. If you want to be a Catholic, your religion is not spoken about in this book. If you want to be a Seventh-day Adventist or a Jehovah's Witness or a Baptist or a Methodist or a Catholic or an Apostolic or Pentecostal or non-denomination, your religion is not spoken about in this book. Your faith, whatever way you believe, is not spoken about in this book. What you've done is done like many other nations that have actually conquered the people and actually taken them into slavery and captivity. You've taken their books and you've adopted their principles, some of them, for yourself. And now you've twisted, warped, and distorted to where even the whole meaning of the book has not even any value to you at all. Now, with all that said, and with all that in mind, this family had a book, which is a constitution. And this book is full of laws, statutes, and commandments only for those people. There's no salvation in this book for Christians. There's no salvation for Muslims. There's no salvation for anybody outside of this book other than those who are Israelites, period. And the creator of the universe clearly states in this Bible right here that he is the God of Israel. Did y'all hear what I said? That period, point blank. And all the other nations, their philosophies and their perspectives, all gender to paganism or worshiping of devils. That means every nation, every tongue, every tribe, every creed, no matter who they are all serving devils. I don't care how they dress it up, how they paint it, whatever the philosophy is, because there's only one salvation, one Messiah. That's it, period. And he was to the ancient Hebrew people who are Israelites and their descendants. Point blank. Now we got that all out of the way. That's why Pastor Dow, when I read this book, I know who I am, because I can tell who I am because of the history of this book. Not what this country, this culture has told me. I read it and I understand it, and it speaks to my heart, it resonates with me. And I understand that I am an Israelite, just like the Apostle Paul, just like Jesus, just like Moses. Now, with all that said, he states in Malachi 3:6, and your translation will say Lord, but I'm going to use Yahweh. For I am Yahweh, look at this, I change not. We're talking about the creator of the universe. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Notice, sons of Jacob are not consumed. What we've had is we've had other perspectives, religions, philosophies, all tell us what they think that this book means. And they totally changed the whole architect, the whole fabric, everything about this book. To the point now that you've got all these many different faiths, many different religions, many different perspectives, and none of them say actually what the book says. Now, in order to understand the dietary laws and why I do not have any swine on my land, I do not have any pigs on my land, and never will have any pigs on my land. Did y'all hear? And the reason being is because I'm an Israelite. Now, if you are a Christian, eat all the swine, eat all the pigs. You won't, because that's what your faith and your religion tells you to do. That's what it says. But when you have high blood pressure, parasites, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and all these other sickness and diseases that come with disobeying the Hebrew laws, don't come complaining to me. Go follow your Christian philosophy and perspective. Now listen to me. I don't mean to be inflammatory, intrusive, or to cause you to get in some type of enrage, but I do want to stimulate your thought to get you to think. Now we're going to read the record. The law is written down over in Leviticus 11, which, many religions teach you you're not under that law. You don't have that law. Well, contrary to popular belief, we just got finished reading that this created universe don't change. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He does not change. So following that perspective, following that vein and that line of thought right here, listen to the book very closely. We're going to turn to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. And I'm going to start at the first verse. And we're going to hit a few key points that is necessary for you to understand. You need to understand this. You need to understand this going forward, so you don't have people spoil you through philosophy, spoil you through vain deceit, spoil you through tradition. You don't need all that. You need truth. And truth would always set free and make free. Now, the book reads, and again, it says Lord, but I'm going to say Yahweh, okay? And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and unto Aaron. Now notice, this is the creator of the universe. He's doing the talking. So this is not Moses' law. Moses is a custodian of this law to implement, to make sure that it's carried out among the people. And those of us who are Israelites, we should be following in the same vein to make sure we carry this out among the people. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying. It didn't say speak to Christians. It didn't say to speak to the Muslims or speak to any other religions or philosophy. It says speak to these people. Are you following me? These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts which are on the earth. Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven-footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Do not eat camel, Israelites. Did y'all hear me? Camel is unclean. You do not eat it. Do you understand? All right. Now, I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to get straight to the point. I'm going to continue to keep reading down. I may put a few things in here, but I want to get mainly to the swine. That's what it's all about, because I can make this thing long and out drawn. I don't want to do that. We want to stay the course here. But, a cow, it chews the cud. It is part of the hoof. It is cloven-footed. You can eat the cow, and he is clean to you. All right. Don't eat horses. Horses not clean to you. All right, here we go. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, which is the rabbit, right? Listen to what the book says. Because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. So to us Israelites who follow the 10 Commandments, the laws and statutes and commandments of this Bible right here, I read the King James Version of the Bible. We are forbidden, thus saith Yahweh, our Elohim, to eat rabbit. Period, point blank. You eat it, you do it to your own apparel. All right, 7th verse. And the swine, which is called the modern day pig. Swine. Because, look, though he divideth the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. You hear that? So Israelites, if you're going to follow the one who gave this to Moses, he spoke this. Moses didn't speak this. Aaron didn't speak this. The Creator spoke this. He told you, do not eat this, so you don't eat it, you don't touch it, you don't do any of that stuff. You do not consume swine. I don't care what the commercials say. I don't care what religion say. Remember, Christianity is not spoken about in this book, so therefore they have no opinion in this area. Now, if they want to divinely sanctify the swine, then let the Christians go develop their own Bible and their own book like they're doing through these translations. And let them justify their own self. But for those of us who believe in what the word says, when he says he don't change, he's the one that said he's not going to alter or change anything that has gone out of his lips. We follow this book right here. Okay. Maybe that's the reason why that out of all the assembly we have here, the people moving this area, none of us are under doctor's care. Not one of us are on prescription drugs. Anyway, and look what it says right here. 8th verse. And of their flesh ye shall not eat, and of their carcass ye shall not touch. They are unclean to you. So you don't, period, point blank. You don't even touch, you don't leave them alone, period, Israel. Now, it's only for Israelites, remember. And then he turns around and says, through the prophet Isaiah, 66 verse 17, they that sanctify themselves, you know, you people who set yourselves apart, look what it says, and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. In other words, you say, no, it's okay. I can eat swine's flesh. I justify myself eating swine's flesh. Listen to what the prophet says. And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh. That's not talking in your favor. It's saying you're going to be consumed. You understand that? That means you're going to perish. So anybody who adopts a philosophy outside of this book right here concerning the dietary laws, are you following me? You have bad problems when you meet the God of Israel. You're going to have some serious problems. You can be, and you can deceive yourself to be so-called saved, so-called sanctified, so-called Holy Spirit filled and fire baptized all you want. You bust this law, break this law, transgress this law, you eat swine's flesh, you finished. You over with and done. And the kingdom of Yahweh, the kingdom of heaven, the new Jerusalem, when it comes down, will not be your home. And remember, he ain't playing games. And it clearly tells us in the renewed covenant that Jesus Christ, the same, yesterday, today, and forever. Jesus was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite. And he understood the laws, statutes, and commandments as well as the Apostle Paul. They did not consume, nor did they eat unclean foods, and neither should you if you are a follower of this book and you are an obedient disciple, a servant of the Messiah. I hope that some way, somehow, that I've been able to help you out on this little subject right here, and that you would be motivated to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and come out of her, come out of these philosophies, come out of these religions, come out of these perspectives. And let me say this, if there are any Christian pastor out there or anybody who disagrees with this, who just so happen to be what you will call of any religion whatsoever at all, and you use our book, the Bible, to justify and deceiving the people and telling them that it's okay for them to eat unclean foods, invite me to your congregation and church and let's have an open civil discussion and debate, civil, so we can let the people be the judge. I think that's the truth, and I know it to be the truth. I hope your strength is very strong as you continue to grow in the grace and in the knowledge of Yahshua HaMashiach. So, peace to